right, let's go! Today's podcast is brought to you by the Wrightsville Beach Piping Plover Pilsner and Panther Snuggies. Because it's cold as fuck. The season is over. What? The season ended weeks ago? Yes, I know the season ended weeks ago. Didn't want to do this fucking video. Not only do I have to deal with the fact that I got fucking smoked this year, like I never missed the playoffs. I fucking got absolutely destroyed this year. But I also have to deal with the fact that the person that won our league is the guy that fucking drafted an inactive player during the draft. Spent the last 2 weeks trying to process this. I still can't. How did we come to this point? How did Matt Riles win? I know how Matt Riles won. Because he has the fucking fantasy MVP. Joey B. You know how I know Joe Burrow is the fantasy MVP? Because I'm in 3 leagues. And every single fucking champion in all 3 leagues has Joe Burrow as the quarterback. And it's crazy because he wasn't even QB1. I think he was probably like QB2 or 3. Still great and amazing value for where you would have gotten him, right? The thing about Joey B is that he fucking went scorched earth. Like between the last 3 games of the regular season and the fantasy playoffs, he was by far the number 1 QB. There wasn't anybody else that was even close. So yeah, to top it off, even better than that, I have to deal with the fact that fucking Yash got 2nd place. Yash! And Hunter 3rd place. Great. Yeah. Another Price getting 3rd place. Zoe got 3rd place in my other fucking league. So I took the time and I tabulated everybody's winnings for the year. You want to know the dollar amounts? Matt Riles, number 1, $380. Yash and Christian both tied number 2, $230. Hunter got $120. Joseph with $20. Me and Dave, $10. And then the 3 Stooges, Wade, Ethan, and Derek, all 0. I guess I can take a small amount of solace in the fact that at least Yash had another losing season overall. You know, between this league and the other league, he spent $250, got back $230, so okay. I'll take that. Small wins. As for your boy, El Commissionero, my 3rd straight losing season. My 3rd straight. That doesn't fucking happen to me. Just to give you an idea, you know, since this is our first time together as collectively, I've played a total of 16 fantasy football seasons. 16. In that time, I have 2 championships, another 2nd place finish, and 2 3rd place finishes. That's a little over 25% of the time I've podiumed in fantasy football. Seems good, right? Okay, pretty good. Prior to this slump, because that's what it is, it's a slump, I had podiumed over 50% of the time. 5 seasons out of 9, I podiumed. Like, where did it all go? Where'd all my success go? Where'd my magic go? Don't even get me started on the fucking very clear correlation between when I started playing best ball in the off season and my slump. Maybe I should stop playing best ball. I'm not gonna stop playing best ball, man. Best ball's so fun. All right, pour one out for my fantasy team. You pour one out, you pour it on the ground? That doesn't make any sense. You pour it in your mouth, right? All right, moving on. I actually took some time to look at next year already, and I wrote down my way too early fantasy rankings for 2025. And these are my rankings. These aren't who I think is going to get drafted. I know who's going to get drafted number 1. You know how I know? Because the fantasy football world is so fucking reactive. Whatever happened last year, that's what's going to happen this year again. The number 1 is going to be Saquon Barkley. But he's not my number 1. He's not even my number 1 RB. My number 1 is once again going to be Jamar Chase. I'll take Jamar Chase number 1 overall again. Then I'll go fucking Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs. And then maybe Barkley, maybe Jefferson. 4 or 5, Barkley, Jefferson. It's about tied. And why? Well, he's going to be at the age cliff for running backs. And he's already had almost 400 touches this year. Plus the playoffs. the dude is going to be worn down. Like, there's not a good track record with running backs going 400 plus touches and having success the next year. Just the track record's terrible. So I'm a little hesitant on Barkley next year. After that, I'll probably take CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then there's a basket of guys that all have question marks. There is one player that I have my eye on. I'm really interested in what happens with the Giants and Malik Neighbors. It's such a funny situation because Malik Neighbors really won the Giants their games, right? Like all those last couple games that the Giants won, and it took them completely out of the first couple of picks. So what are they going to do? Like, they're going to be forced to go to the market, right? Who's on the market? Jameis Winston. Is this a plot? Did Malik Neighbors specifically say, I'm going to fucking win these games. We ain't tanking for Cam Ward. We're going to get Jameis. And I'm going to fucking get 1,500 yards and 25 touchdowns next year. If something like that happens, Jameis goes to the Giants, I'm moving Malik Neighbors into my top 5. He'll probably bump Barkley out in my top 5. Speaking of predictions, I made a couple playoff predictions. So NFC, there's only 2 teams that I think could come out of the NFC, the Lions or the Eagles. And I've flip-flopped the last couple weeks because at first, a couple weeks ago, I really thought I was all in on the Eagles. Like, the Lions have so many injuries on defense. The Bengals with the Lions IR would be a Super Bowl contender. But then Jalen Hurts got hurt. And I thought it was a fake injury. I thought it was one of those situations where the NFL's fucking conspiracying. They want the Commanders to win to punish Dan Snyder or something like that, or punish the owners. I don't know. But they have a hard-on for the Commanders. And I thought that was a fucking bullshit injury. But then he didn't practice. And then he didn't play. Then he didn't play again. Then he just started practicing. Jalen Hurts is going to go into the playoffs not fucking having played the last 3 weeks? I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. So I think I'm going to go Lions because despite everything, Dan Campbell has that fucking team. He's just that type of guy that just fucking is able to motivate trash cans and inflatable pool floats to fucking play NFL level football. Like, I don't know how he does it, but that defense is still good. They just shut down the Vikings in week 18. So I'm going to take the Lions in the NFC. And then the AFC, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. All 3 of those teams got hot at the perfect time. The last couple weeks of the regular season, those teams, they're really hitting their stride. They're fucking rolling. And my heart wants to take the Ravens. It really does. But I don't know if Lamar can win playoff games. And the same with Josh Allen. And I know that the Chiefs can do it. And they have done it. And the refs and the fucking NFL want Taylor Swift Bowl 3.0. So, I'm going to have to go with the chalk. I'm going to have to go Chiefs. So, Lions-Chiefs Super Bowl it is. So, last thing, I thought about some potential changes for next year. Number 1 would be a FAB. So FAB stands for Free Agent Acquisition Budget. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it throughout the year. We wouldn't do a waiver priority, right? So worst team doesn't get the best player on the waiver every week. It's going to go by, you have a budget and you bid on the players, right? So it'd be a blind bid. I think that's more fun. It's more interesting. I did it in in one of my other leagues. It's just overall, in my opinion, a lot better. So I would want to change that. A lot of people have been talking about Superflex lately. I'm not particularly interested in Superflex. I really don't think it's that good of a system anymore. Anytime you're in a Superflex draft, which I've been in, first and second rounds is all QBs. And then whether or not you win the league is whether you got a top 3 or 4 draft pick. So you can pick, Lamar Jackson and then come around on the back end and luck out into fucking Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield as your second QB. And it's not that fun. I don't know. But what is interesting is keeping it at 1 QB, but making all of the other slots flex. That'd be kind of cool. A lot of flexibility there. Do you want to draft all running backs, or Do you want to have 4 running backs on your bye weeks because you don't have any wide receivers? Like, you're free to do that. Tight end or no tight end, doesn't matter. Taysom Hill, throw him in. It's a flex spot. Auction draft. I've done an auction draft before in fantasy hockey. It's really cool. Instead of having like a draft order and then doing a snake draft, everybody has a budget and you bid on players. So we take turns recommending a player. You just throw a name out there and everybody bids on it. And highest bid gets the player. So if you have a real hard on for a fucking player, Josh can get Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and blow his old fucking budget and then, spend $0 bids on fucking replacement level players. Like, if you want to, you could do that. All right, that's it for this video and the year. Thanks everybody for a great year. We gotta find 2 more. I don't like this fucking 10-teamer bullshit. We need a fucking 12-team league like fucking respectable gentlemen we are. I'm back in the simulator. I'll see you guys in a couple months when I get on shift. And can't wait till fucking next year. Peace.